Hello and welcome to Travel News. We're going to be discussing landing cards that you have to fill in if you're a non-EU or non-UK resident, and you have to complete this form, and you have to present it with your passport at border control. It's a form that's been around since 1971, and basically you have to complete it before you're allowed entry into the UK. Usually you do this on the plane before you arrive, unless you're one of these annoying people that likes to keep it there and then waste their time when they're waiting for the border, and they suddenly realise, oh, we haven't done it yet, so they go off and try and complete it there instead of doing it on the plane when they've got loads of time. And quite recently there was a story in Impending, I believe, and it was came out last week, and it's relevant because it happens today. International visitors to the UK will no longer be required to fill in a landing card as of today, a move that will weaken our borders, claims a key union, which is a lot of rubbish. That's interesting. Plans were already in place to scrap landing cards for visitors arriving from 7 countries as of June 2019. But the Home Office has now decided to abolish cards altogether. Travelling from any country outside the EU must currently fill in a landing card before entering the UK. And obviously they have various things on, which is needed, allegedly needed by the UK border staff. Around 11 million are issued every year. However, the Home Office says that there will no longer be a requirement for any passenger of any nationality to complete a landing card. It just details all of the details from your passport, things like your name, passport number, blah blah blah. To be fair, when I go to Thailand I have to fill in a same thing, but it's divided into 2, and there is some semblance of sense with this, because then on the way out they match it up with the one that you present on the way in. With regard to visas, majority of countries outside the EU have to have a visa, and apart from those ones in what they call a Schengen area, if we have a look at this screen, we can see that travel documents are non-EU countries, nationals. There is a Schengen area link there, which will give you details of Schengen areas. So the border-free Schengen areas, there's some countries listed there. They're not necessarily in the EU, although some of them are. But the non-Schengen areas around the Western world, you need to have a visa if there's no agreement. And the agreement says that you can travel freely between the countries without worrying about it. Well, the UK has basically their own laws. And obviously if you're outside the Schengen area, you need to get a visa well in advance of your visit. Obviously you need to contact the embassy or consulate before you arrive. Down here, which I thought was quite interesting, that's about applying for a visa. Here's arriving at the border without an entry visa, which I thought was quite interesting. Obviously it's always best for your non-EU family members to be well informed and have the necessary documents. However, if they arrive at the border without an entry visa, the border authorities should give them the opportunity to prove by other means that they are your family members. And if they manage to prove it, they should be issued with an entry visa on the spot. So, and obviously it says there, if your family members are having difficulties, then you can contact our assistance services. In very rare cases, an EU country can refuse entry. I actually thought that was quite an interesting rule that I hadn't noticed. So for me, it would be an expensive error if we suddenly decided to try it and turn up here without a visa, just say, well, she's married to me, here's the marriage certificate, and see if they will give us a visa on the spot, because it does say that in writing. But whether that is the same, because we don't have the same rules and laws, it could well backfire. Anyway, sorry for the length of this video. It's been quite a subject matter that's quite close to my heart, and I hope you enjoyed it. And do give us a thumbs up, a like, and a share, and don't forget to come back very soon. Bye for now.